So let me ask you this. You've sued Clintons a few times, right? Hillary Clinton, Judicial Watch, you guys have. How come with them nothing happens? They're around. There's no trouble. There is no scrutiny with the levels of pressures or anything that happened. Or they just keep going on. Everybody says, oh my gosh, all this stuff. But there's so many rumors about what they did and this and this and that. But what happened? They're innocent. They're innocent. They're innocent. How come even with all the laws and the lawyers and everything that we have, nothing's happened to the Clintons?
It's a challenge because I think the Justice Department – look, the Justice Department is not run by a disinterested civil service that's there just to enforce the law and apply the law. Are there people who believe that at the Justice Department? Of course. Their good Lord. Yeah, that goes without saying. But in terms of the general direction of the Justice Department, it is run by Democrat liberals who place partisanship and ideology above the rule of law. And so it results in their friends being protected. In most cases, it's not a perfect analysis, and their enemies being targeted. It's the Obama way. I don't say there's a double standard of justice. I kind of jokingly say there's not a double standard of justice. I said there's one standard of justice. Go after your enemies and protect your friends. They're being perfectly consistent when they target Trump while protecting Hillary. Heck, the Hillary and the FBI, at the time they were targeting, at the time Hillary was supposedly under investigation for the emails and materials that Judicial Watch uncovered, they were collaborating on ways to destroy Trump, literally partnering. Her campaign was paying Chris Steele at the same time Chris Steele was getting paid by the FBI. It was a joint effort. And we're supposed to believe that the investigation into Hillary was legit. I don't even believe, people talk about retribution. I just want the government to work the way it's supposed to work. Does it mean that all these politicians that I think are corrupt get thrown away in jail? No, but it does mean that there's a serious criminal investigation of what they did. And we can't even get to that. We can't even get to that relatively low benchmark in the way the Justice Department is done. And this is what, Pat, he should do if he gets elected, Trump. He should appoint a special counsel, not allow the Justice Department to appoint a special counsel because the Justice Department's got to be the target of a special counsel. Situate the person down here in Florida, give them all the resources that a special counsel needs through other agencies, and investigate the deprivation of his civil rights and the civil rights of other Americans under color of law by this collusive conspiracy involving the Biden administration, the Justice Department, the FBI, Fani Willis, and all the rest up in New York. He should have special counsels that report to him doing these investigations, targeting the Justice Department to figure out their abuses and their collusion, the FBI, find out who approved of and targeted him, make sure they're not in a position of public trust anymore, whether they be in the FBI or Justice Department. They need to radically rethink the existence of the FBI, the power and reach of the Justice Department. I remember talking to a senior official at the White House during the Trump administration. And the person isn't who you might think he is. It's in the terms of where he is politically with Trump. He's now known as an anti-Trumper. And he said to me, Tom, he goes, after this is all over, we got to think of a way to bring the Justice Department back into our government. Because they were seeing that the Justice Department thought they didn't really report to the president. Even his own appointees over there didn't think they reported to him, in the sense they would withhold information, refuse to do what they wanted them to do, even though it was lawful. And so we've got this kind of this rule of law crisis that's pretty grave, that goes beyond just the president, Trump being abused. We've got this bureaucracy that thinks it answers to nobody other than their Democratic friends and left-wing ideological allies.
How long has it been like this?
Well, if you ask Richard Nixon, he'd say since World War II.
Yeah,
I mean, one of my favorite guys, Stan Evans, a conservative activist. He's long passed away. His standard joke was he didn't like Nixon until Watergate. And, to me, if you're Richard Nixon, he saw what Democrats were up to in the 60s with Lyndon Johnson and in the Kennedy administration and the casual corruption. And he ends up getting impeached and removed and forced to resign from office. He wasn't technically impeached, but he was about to be impeached, I guess. But, it's been a problem for a while. It's metastasized under Obama. It really did. Because they got these real hardcore leftists in positions of power in the Justice Department. And, I think Obama rigged the election in 2012 against Romney by getting the IRS to suppress the Tea Party. You can steal elections in plain sight other than through ballot stuffing. You can do it by suppressing stories like the Hunter Biden case or suppressing an entire political movement, the most important political movement in recent decades, the Tea Party movement. People say, what happened to the Tea Party movement in 2012? Because it had been merged in 2010, helped the Republicans take over Congress, and it disappeared in 2012. People say, well, what happened to it? Well, it was suppressed by Obama's IRS. Jack Smith and his gang were thinking of ways to prosecute those Tea Party groups. Same old in terms of the groups who are in these positions of power. And it's no surprise Jack Smith is back.
That's wild. This is the Michelle Bachmann days, right? The Herman Cain, the 999, that's the era. I remember that.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.